Okay, I'm back to show the 3 journals that will be listed in my shop. If you didn't watch the previous video where I showed my great niece's ballerina themed book with pouch, you might want to watch this because I probably won't go into as much detail in these books. Many of the elements are the same. So again, they're made with, or the pouches are made with vintage pillowcases and sheets. And this one, I used the top part of the sheet where it had this really nice scalloped edge. And I put some of my lace. This lace is in my shop. And the back, on the back is attached this strip from another vintage pillow, or this was a vintage pillowcase, and I had to piece it together to make it long enough. And so tucked inside is a ballet themed TN style journal. This might be just a little bit wider than Traveler's Notebook. I'm not sure if these will fit in the Traveler's Notebook. I didn't try putting it in mine. It would fit in mine because mine is a wider one. My pink leather one is a little wider than the standard, I think. So it's actually 4.5 inches across. This one has an image from my ballerina book, my vintage book about the ballet, and collaged on, this is a Prima paper that's double-sided. It's gorgeous paper, and all of these are made with that Prima paper as a cover. And this is some handmade paper or mulberry type paper. When I went to Amazon when I talked about mulberry paper on a video, and I wanted to make sure that you could still buy mulberry paper, and I found it on Amazon. But then I also found this scrap pack of interesting papers, decorative papers, and a lot of it is mulberry paper, but it's just this little scrap pack, and it was a good price, so I grabbed that. And so I used some of this on the covers of each of the journals. So here's one that has little petals in it, and then there's a piece of pink lace and a couple pieces of the handmade paper. And it says, "Hold on tight to your dreams." And there's the back. This book belongs to. Vintage lace here on the edge. This is one of the pages, one of the colored pages from my book about the ballet, again with Denise's really pretty gold flecked ruffly trim. I love it. Perfect for the ballerina book. There is a violin and the word dream. Some washi tape here. A couple of cards paper clipped. This is a printable from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And another little, looks like a flash card, but it was a printable. It says hat. Here's one of those collages that I got the idea from Joyce Kerr's. And I'll link that video again. It was on a video from Denise on Practice Makes Perfect. I just realized that this tab got wonky when I stitched it on. It's not on straight. There's a little bit of vintage tatting here and some sari silk and a little button. A pocket, and here's a piece of the beaded fabric from some of the boho packs that I got. This is a text from the ballet book and a little tag printable from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. There's a stamp of an iris, a fabric flip, and there's a little piece of that really pretty embroidered trim that I got at the Yard's flea market. My favorite, ledger paper. I will glue this envelope closed. There's some stamping here. There's a little bouquet and a little ballerina. Vellum. Washi tape. Have an open heart. And there's a calla lily. Trying saying that 3 times fast. Part of this Prima paper pack. Here's an image from the book about the ballet. And again, the bottom part of the alterations tag. This is Vintage Ledger. This is a paper clip with the tickets on it, and the paper clip is stuck inside the 2 tickets. There's some cheesecloth and a vintage sticker on it, and it's holding this page from the ballet book. She's dancing in Swan Lake. Some ruffled lace is stitched to the other side of the colored paper. And there's a little girl cut from the Victoria magazine from the 90s, and it says, "Do your best." She's been practicing ballet. She's holding on to the bar, and I will sign my name here. Vintage library pocket there, covered with pretty scrapbook paper. This one is going to be called Dreams. So it will be listed in my shop, and it will be called Dreams. This one is made with a pale pink pillowcase, which I loved, and this is cut from this sheet. And I stitched some of the white lace that I have in my shop along the flap. And this one is called Be Yourself. The words are "Be your beautiful self." This is a little enameled charm that I got at the flea market. I thought it was perfect here, and this is a piece of the mulberry paper and some lace and some more of the mulberry paper. Some pretty roses. This is the Prima paper. It's more like a cardstock. Again, it's the same layout. I love this watercolory look to this paper. Isn't that a pretty image? There's the boho piece in this journal. Another little piece of that embroidered trim. Vintage Ledger. This envelope has the flap on this side because I didn't want to turn this lady upside down. So this will be glued shut. I left a few threads hanging on these journals, but not all of them. Make a difference. This one has an arrow paper clip holding on this page from the ballet book. I love this music paper. There's a lot of notes on this music paper. I don't think it was a book of songs. I think it's from a book of practice studies where you just, it's finger exercises. So there's a lot of notes. Now this was a piece of trim. I only had a little bit left, and it was in 2 pieces, so, but it was just the right length. I sewed a piece here and then sewed another piece right next to it. But I love it with this ballet book. Some little girls from the Victoria magazine. Live your dream with passion. And this is the top part of the alterations tag. This is a vintage library card. I don't want to mix these books up, so I'm going to put this right in its pouch. And this one is called Be Yourself. And the last one is in this, I love this sheet, one of my favorites, a little flower sprigged vintage sheet, and the tie is a plain white cotton sheet, also vintage. I don't believe there's any polyester in this cotton sheet. And I used my spring green lace to because I love the green in those leaves. So this lace is also in my shop. And this one is called Play. She says this phrase is remember to play. There's a piece of mulberry paper here, and this gray one has little gold flecks in it. And this little dimensional paper flower here. I think it might be vellum. And some lace. Prima cardstock again for the cover. This one has an applique again from Perio with the current dyed lace. I love this piece from the boho collections. I love that. This one has a Tiffany & Company tag in it. I will again glue that envelope shut. So all the envelopes are different. Goes like that. Some are made with the ballet book pages. I forgot what Isabella's was made with. This is scrapbook paper. This is a pale pink vellum, but you can't really tell because it's on pink, so it would have probably looked the same if I had used plain white vellum. Never give up. And I have some leftover pages with images from this ballet book, so I'll probably include some of those too with these journals. And this cute little girl says, "Start doing things you love." So there we have it. This one is Play. This one is Be Yourself. And this one is Dreams. By the time this video is up, they will be listed in my shop. Thank you very much for watching. And please leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.